Welcome back, folks. It's Godzilla time again, and today I got one of my favorite Godzilla movies here. Godzilla, Mothra, King Ghidorah, Giant Monsters All-Out Attack. Godzilla, Mothra, King Ghidorah, Giant Monsters All-Out Attack from 2001, also known as GMK. Okay, Godzilla returns to being a bad guy, which is cool. We all love when Godzilla's a bad guy and he's stomping cities and whatnot, but usually when he's a bad guy, there's no other monsters. But in this movie, he's so bad that they need 3 other monsters to take him down, who are known as the Guardian Monsters. Baragon, Mothra, and King Ghidorah. Early in the film, you get to see Baragon burrows from under the earth and some bikers get killed in a landslide inside a tunnel. And a few scenes later, you get to see Mothra take out a bunch of hooligans who were trying to drown a dog or something. Anyway, they all get killed by Mothra, which is weird. But really, Mothra was just protecting the earth. And I guess protecting that dog. So those are, a couple hints that there's monsters coming up in this movie. You don't actually get to see Godzilla himself. Well, other than a little bit of, you see the back of his tail and stuff like that. But you don't really get to see the monster itself until about maybe 40 minutes into the movie, which is cool. They build the suspense really well here. It's a well-crafted story. It's dumb, but it's Godzilla, man. The human story centers around a journalist, sort of a trashy journalist. She's in one of those expose kind of shows. They do reality shows or pseudo documentaries or something. And she lives with her father, who is a military commander of the Japanese Self-Defense Force, responsible for taking out Godzilla. Now, Godzilla in this one, like I said, he is evil. Well, not necessarily evil, but he's come to punish the people of Japan. Apparently he's animated by the souls of the war dead of World War II, of all the people in Asia that were, conquered by the Japanese, as well as the Japanese soldiers themselves. They're all coming back from the dead to take vengeance on the nation of Japan. And radiation is involved in there somehow. And then also there's a prophecy that these 3 Guardian monsters will come back and they will defeat Godzilla. Or fight against him anyway. Sure, sounds cool. Now the first one to emerge is Baragon. I like Baragon's appearance in this movie. I think it's a cool looking monster. It's a little smaller than the other monsters. It doesn't seem to have like in Frankenstein Conquers the World, Baragon doesn't seem to have that fire breath or whatever, or doesn't use it anyway. It's just a dinosaur-like creature with a golden horn that jumps around quite a bit and burrows under the earth, and still a pretty neat monster. And one little bit of trivia here is this is the first time that any kaiju in a Japanese movie was portrayed by a female. Her name is, I believe, Ria Oto, and she was in the Baragon suit. And Godzilla kicks the crap out of Baragon. Basically, utterly kills him. And Godzilla looks awesome in this movie. He's got big, giant feet, and he's got a long neck and a really snarly looking face with really pronounced canines. And he's got those solid white eyes.
Lifeless eyes, like a doll's eyes.
Just unfeeling, uncaring engine of destruction. Force of nature. That's what Godzilla is. Well, force ghost of nature. Of mankind. Okay, whatever the hell's happening here, Godzilla is awesome. There's lots of scenes of Godzilla attacking the city and killing people. He makes his way to the city center and gets attacked by Mothra. Mothra flies in, does her best to take him out. Mothra's pretty cool in this movie too. I like the design of the Mothra puppet, marionette, whatever it is. It's got long insectoid legs. Mothra's appearances before this were just had stubby little furry legs. It looked like chicken legs, and I didn't like that. This looks more like an actual insect. And then I guess, Mothra in Godzilla King of the Monsters 2019, they take that a little bit further and make it even more insect-like. But here Mothra looks really cool. She's got cool weapons. She can shoot like spikes out of her tail and stuff. Of course, she's got like the poison powder that comes from her wings and all that. And she holds her own against Godzilla for a while. But I think she gets temporarily knocked out, so King Ghidorah has to step in. And King Ghidorah looks okay in this movie. There's a couple of shots where it's very clearly CGI, and Ghidorah doesn't look that great, but I don't know, I guess the suit, puppet, whatever, looks alright. Like, the necks of the three necks of Ghidorah are like a little shorter for whatever reason. That fight is a great fight. The three-way monster battle in that one, like I said, Mothra gets knocked out, Ghidorah comes in, fights Godzilla. Godzilla manages to kick the shit out of Ghidorah and kill it. But then Mothra comes back and then saves Ghidorah. Basically does that energy life force transfer thing that brings Ghidorah back to life. Mothra's gone. So your final showdown is Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah, and they end up in the ocean, just offshore of Tokyo Bay. And yeah, there's an underwater battle, and then there's a submarine fires a missile into Godzilla. Admiral General Dad or whatever gets in his little submersible, and he actually gets swallowed by Godzilla. But then he uses his missile and burrows his way out or something, and is pretty crazy. And then Godzilla gets blown up in the end. It's got tons of monster action in this movie, and that's one of the reasons I really like this movie. And I like the style of the monster fights and stuff like that. You get to see more than you did in some of the older ones, where it's either too dark or stuff happens too quick and all you get is just a glimpse of the monster suit. No, here you get to see him knock down, drag out, lots of fights, lots of miniature buildings getting smashed, lots of people getting trampled or vaporized. Monster destruction. This movie has it in spades. I would say for the longest time this actually was my favorite Godzilla movie. Unfortunately, it's not my favorite anymore. Now, there's no reason for that other than I've seen other movies that I prefer more. But it's a great example of the Millennium era, probably the best of that entire series, 6 movies. The human cast isn't super annoying. They're actually kind of amusing, kind of funny in some parts. They're not in it that much, to be honest. Lots of monster stuff in here. All the good stuff that you expect from a Godzilla movie is in this movie. So, overall, still being one of my favorite Godzilla movies, I'm going to have to give Godzilla, Mothra, and King Ghidorah, Giant Monsters All-Out Attack, an A. Good solid A. It's a solid movie. If I want to watch a Godzilla movie that I'm guaranteed I'm going to enjoy all the way through, this is one of them. I love the monsters. I like the silliness of the premise. I like the story. It seems very epic, even though it's really dumb. Souls of the dead inhabit a giant nuclear radiated dinosaur. Okay, well, there's a lot of crazy stuff in here, but I like that. I like how it's all out there, and it's nobody really knows what the hell's going on, but it's just oh my god, Godzilla's attacking the city. But here comes another monster, take care of it. It's holy shit. Yeah, I don't know, that was kind of my reaction seeing this movie for the first time. And although, there's nothing that shocks me anymore since I've seen it 6 times, just not quite my favorite anymore. But it's an A. So stick around, you never know what you're going to get here. And until the next time, have a good one, everybody.